Speaking of recruiting, why don't we jump to maybe a fun topic here? Class of 21, we've already established is awfully good, right? The number 2 in the country. There's still an outside chance they could be the number 1 class in the country. I'm not sure that's probable at this point, but they're pretty much locked in at the number 2 recruiting class in the country, which Ryan Day, at least publicly said, makes no difference to him one way or the other. He's not worried about rankings. He just wants to find the guys that are the right fit for their program and their culture. And that's fine. Their program and culture are able to attract some of the best players in America, and that's just the nature of it. What I think is maybe even more impressive is the start that the class of 22 is off to, because right now, the guys that are currently high school juniors, Ohio State is literally running circles around the rest of college football in the class of 22. And flipping Quinn Ewers from Texas to Ohio State was obviously a huge get, right? But it's a lot deeper than that. Shaheem Singletary, who, if you didn't see, visited with us on BuckeyesNow.com. Shaheem is a ridiculously talented cornerback. And even though he's long and lanky, his size is not going to force him away from playing outside corner. He's got an exceptionally high ceiling. Gabe Powers, Desan McCullough, CJ Hicks, there are some real dudes in this 2022 class that I'm excited to watch. So, total prognostication, total guess here, but what do you think? You think the class of 22 is going to end up being better than the class of 21?
I think it has potential to be, for sure. As that's a hedging, terrible answer. I think it has potential because there's a guy in there and Quinn Ewers who could potentially be, a starting quarterback for an extended period of time. We were talking earlier about offensive linemen putting on weight when they get in.
Yep.
I think you'll see Shaheem Singletary. It'll be amazing to watch his before and after pictures from when he came in as a freshman at probably 160 pounds, 170 tops, to putting on some muscle, and how much his body's going to change getting in mixed weight program and how that'll affect him. I love the 2022 class because of it has some guys who we kind of don't know where they're going to play exactly. Like CJ Hicks is a great example of, is he going to be a linebacker? Is he going to play DB? We kind of don't know. I think he'll probably play linebacker. When we saw him at Alter, one of the great things in his development that I thought was really interesting is he was not he was a 4 or 5-star, 4-star recruit as a freshman. I'm pretty sure one of the few freshmen ever to get that designation by some of the recruiting groups out there, and didn't play right away. Ed Domsites, who's the head coach at Alter, over in Dayton, was you're going to have to earn it like everyone else. And so I think he's going to be one of those guys that's extra prepared to be able to contribute when he's at Ohio State, because he knew that he had to earn it at the high school level as well. You mentioned Gabe Powers as another guy, I think coming from Marysville, maybe in Ohio. Yep. That is another one of those dudes that I think you'll see as potentially being a guy that we see on the field for a long time. Reed Carrico down at Wheelersburg in Ohio is coming in that 2022 class, I think. Reed's 2021.
Yep.
But in that same vein, right? Of guys that you think could be around for a while. And I think that's what you're looking for when you're talking to these juniors, right? Is we want you to, if we're recruiting you and you're getting stone offers as a junior, that means that we think you have potential to be a long-term success here at Ohio State. And I think that 2022 class is definitely going to, a lot of Ohio State fans and a lot of the Ohio State media are going to have our eyes on that group once they get in and once they get that first full season under their belts to see who really comes out and performs, because the potential there is absolutely sky high. There's first round NFL draft talent in that recruiting class out the wazoo.
I totally agree. And no matter what, there's a pretty good chance that at a minimum, the class of 21 and class of 22 are both going to be pretty darn good. So which of the two is better may not be a totally relevant question. It may just be more, hey, this is great for Ohio State. And, the continued chances to play in the college football playoff are omnipresent. So hopefully that stays the case.